everyone, welcome to Nina Cucina. Today I am making a little twist on salade niçoise. I call it Nina Niçoise. Now there's a few differences here. The first difference is that I make it with salmon and not tuna. This is wild Alaskan salmon, and you can see there's some variation in color because of the different things that these different fish actually ate when they were swimming around in the ocean. The other big difference is that I don't add eggs to it. We have a big protein here, so we don't need another one. Another little difference is that I use sweet potatoes. Yes, sweet potatoes. This is really delicious in this salad. So let me show you what's going on in the rest of this table and you can get an idea. I've got some basil. I use different herbs every time I do this, whatever I find in my garden or at the market. Fresh basil looked great today in my garden, so I pulled it. I've got some green beans that I've just trimmed and I've left the little tail on them. I like to leave them long because I want to make sure that people are actually cutting and eating their food slowly. It's much better for the digestion, so that's why I do it this way. If you prefer to break them in half, go right ahead. I've got 2.5 cups approximately of these adorable grape tomatoes. You can slice them in half if you like. I'm not even going to do that this time. They are so cute running through the salad. Now, a few little black olives, just about 1/4 cup sliced. Not too many, just enough to give color. Some capers, of course, some garlic for my salad dressing ingredients. I've got a beautiful fig balsamic. I also change up my balsamics every time I make a salad. I love balsamic vinegar and I love them when they've got great different flavors. Some olive oil. I'm breaking down the olive oil with a little vegetable broth just to save us a few calories and give it a nice viscosity. And of course our binder is Dijon mustard. So we're going to get started first by making our salad dressing right in the bowl. I'm going to use a little hot sauce in it too, as opposed to black pepper. And the reason I do that is because everything else is liquid. If I put black pepper in, it'll just sink to the bottom. So let's just start there. Get the Dijon in there and my yummy balsamic. And I'm just going to take those two and give them a nice whisk around the bottom of the bowl. Now I'm doing this for a very specific reason. We are going to cut up these potatoes and we're going to cook them in salted boiling water and put them in this great dressing. And that dressing is going to soak right into those hot potatoes. Oh, makes them yummy. Now I'm just going to pour in my olive oil, just whisk that through until it is emulsified. The vegetable broth, that gives it a really, really nice consistency. Now, of course, I could add more oil, which I adore. And olive oil is very good for you, but you've got a lot of healthy fats going on in your salmon. So, you know, we're trying to balance the calories and the fat. Just whisk in my garlic. I'm just going to go ahead and set that aside while I chop up my potatoes. Now I'm just going to, we're not going to do a big chopping with this. We're just going to chop off the ends. I'm going to run my knife right through the middle. Now, of course, it's going to depend on what size potatoes you find. These are what I found, and they're nice and long, and they're kind of, they've got all the same, they're egal in shape, which I like. It makes it just easier to chop, so all of the pieces are the same size. Now I'm just going to chunk it. Let's do this one too. Now let's head over to the stovetop and I'm going to show you what I do with the water. What I've done is I've filled a pot with water and I've added about 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but that's the only thing that's going to flavor your potatoes and your green beans. It won't all be absorbed by the food, but it does give it a nice flavor so it's not bland. All right, we're going to start with the sweet potatoes. I am going to just carefully, because the water's boiling and I don't want to get splashed, pour those in, and I'm going to cover them up and bring it back to a boil, which is going to happen quickly with those. And you're going to cook them for exactly 3 minutes. Doesn't sound like a lot of time, but if you cook them longer, they're going to get mushy. All right, now those have been boiling for about 3 minutes, so I'm going to start to scoop them out. I am just using a regular old kitchen strainer. Now I am just pouring them right into that delicious vinaigrette. Now I'm just going to grab a spoon and I'm just going to give them just a little toss around. I just want to get them covered with that yummy sauce. Oh, it's steaming hot and I can just smell the garlic and the olive oil. Oh, yum. Okay, I'm going to put it right back in its place next to my boiling pot. Now in go the green beans. Carefully. Once again, you're going to bring this up to a boil. Now with the green beans, it takes a little bit longer to bring it to a boil, and they take a little bit longer to cook. Now, the rule is 4 minutes. That's what Julia Child always said, and that's actually exactly right. They take 4, maybe 4.5 minutes. Watch them carefully. What you're looking for is a bright green color. The moment they come to a boil, just cover them and begin to time. Okay, let's check out these beans. Oh, they're bright green. They've been in there certainly 4 minutes. What a gorgeous color. Look at that. That is what you're looking for. Strain it off a bit. Toss it right into the same bowl. Okay, and let's turn this pot off. Let's grab this bowl, and I'm going to give this a light toss. Now, if you want it to be picture perfect, and if you were Julia Child, you would have dumped these green beans into an ice water bath. But let's face it, during the middle of the week, when you're scrambling to get dinner on the table for your family, you're not going to do that. And I certainly do not when I make this dish. This is a simple and easy dish to make, and I want to keep it that way. All right, now I am just going to let that all sit in that bowl and let the flavors marry while we cook the fish. Now I just grabbed my salmon out of the fridge. Let's just give it a little salt and pepper action here. Some fresh ground sea salt. Yes, that is my favorite kind of salt, is fresh ground, and it always has to be sea salt. And fresh ground pepper, just to give it a little kick. All right, now we're going to go over to the stove and we're going to just cook this salmon right up. Now I've preheated my pan over medium-high heat. Now you're going to know your pan is ready when you place your hand about 1 inch above the pan surface and you feel good heat radiating from it. I'm going to just lower that heat just a little bit because it's getting pretty hot in there. I'm going to add just a little bit of grapeseed oil. You don't need a whole lot. You don't actually need any at all when it comes to cast iron, because cast iron, once it's seasoned, it's non-stick. So I'm going to add these pieces of fish seasoned side down. Now each is going to vary a little bit in thickness, so you're just going to have to watch it. I'm going to go ahead and season the other side. Now, you're going to resist the temptation to play with the fish in the pan. There's going to be none of this wiggling and stuff like that. You're going to know that it's ready when it releases from the pan. Then you're going to have a wonderful, nice crust on there. And all you do is you give it a little wiggle. If you feel that it's sticking, don't play with it any further. Give it a little wiggle. This one seems to be not sticking. And you can see that that has a nice golden color to it. So I'm just going to turn it over. The thicker the fish, the longer that it's going to take to cook, obviously. This one's wiggling around. And see that nice golden color? Perfect. Now this is the largest piece here. This is for the king. It's still sticking. I'm leaving it. If you mess with it, you're going to get broken pieces. This one's wiggling. I'm just going to turn it over. They've got to cook on the other side for certainly that long. So while that's happening, let's go back to our work surface and finish off our salad. Just keep a close eye on it. All right, now my salad is cooled off a bit, which is exactly what I wanted. It's pretty much, it's room temperature now. So I'm going to go and put the rest of my ingredients in. Pour in my tomatoes and sprinkle in my sliced olives. It's only about 1/4 cup, just enough to give color. And 3 tablespoons approximately. You could use a little less if you wanted. I am a caper freak. Of capers in. Give it a toss. I just want to get those tomatoes. Now I'm just going to peek at my fish. I could go just a few minutes more. That one's just about done. I'm going to turn it on its side and let the side cook because that's a rectangular piece. They're looking good. Okay, I'm just going to keep a close eye on that. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up my basil. I just want about 1/4 cup. As I said to you before, you can use any type of herb that you want. I really love tarragon in this dish as well. Parsley is absolutely fine, whatever you feel for. Chop it into, I would say, a medium fine mince. Don't drive yourself crazy with it. What I want to do is check these guys one more time. They look pretty darn ready to me. Now I'm just going to pull that right off the stove and I'm going to put it right onto this cutting board. Now it will continue to cook right there. But now I'm going to be sure that it's not going to overcook. Now, get my beautiful basil, sprinkle it into the bowl there. Okay, one last toss. Now, I'm going to add some fresh ground pepper to this because I happen to love it. You don't have to. It doesn't need salt, really, because you have Dijon in it. But let's just do, just for the fun, a little fresh ground pepper. Give it one more toss. Now, I am going to grab some beautiful plates and serve up my guests. Now I've gotten some plates and I've just put them on my work surface very close to my salad. I got a few little sprigs of basil just to garnish. And all we're going to do is I'm going to put right in the center of the plate some salad. Let's give this person a few more potatoes. There we go. And let's do a little switch here. Look at those gorgeous colors. I mean, talk about vitamin C, vitamin K. This salad has great anti-inflammatory properties. Gosh, that salmon smells so good. That in combination with all of the wonderful flavors and aromas that are in this salad, it's just, oh, it's a killer dish. And I'm just going to lay that right on top. I'm just going to lay a little basil floret on top, just to make everybody feel special. Isn't that beautiful? There you have it. Isn't that gorgeous? It's nutritious, it's fast, and it's easy, and everybody will love it. That is Nina Nicoise. Thanks for joining me today at Nina Cucina. I'll see you next time.